Hello. I am sitting outside on this gorgeous Friday morning and want to share a little bit about the story of the Mistaken Zygote. I first heard of this story from Dr. Estes in her book, Women Who Run with the Wolves. And as soon as I heard the story or read it, I actually can't remember. So, just so you know, there is an online version of the book, audible version of the book, but it's not the full book. It's about 2 hours long, I think, but it's definitely not the full book. It's a good place to start, though. So I can't remember if it's on that or in both, or in the text-based version of the book or both. But either way, Dr. Estes is the one who brought the mistaken zygote theory to my attention, and it was one of those things that made so much sense to me. So, for a number of reasons, you might feel like you resonate with the story. But the story of the mistaken zygote is a way to explain why some of us do not feel that our family of origin understands us, can communicate well with us, appreciates us, validates us, welcomes us, is judgment free of us. It is a story that will resonate with the woman who just never felt like she belonged, and then that leads to a lot of different interpretations, manifestations, and different ways she alchemizes that feeling, for better or for worse. So again, this is a story to explain why some of us just never felt like, maybe you kept in your room most of the time. Maybe you did a lot more journaling than talking to your family. Maybe you spent a lot of time away from your house. Maybe you worked a lot so you wouldn't have to go home. Maybe you moved out really young. Maybe you turned to drugs so you didn't have to deal with it. There's just so many things that can be a way for a person who feels unwelcome or ungrounded or unsupported, or just feels like they don't belong. So the story goes, if you believe that babies come from storks carrying baskets, so just imagine that you still believe that. And the idea is that the zygotes were all in their baskets, and they were all getting ready to get dropped off, and the stork picked up the basket with her beak and started flying through the night and dropping off the little zygotes where they belonged. And if you're a mistaken zygote, you probably already were just like a ball of energy. Like, you could not wait to get this life started. You were so excited. So excited. That's just like almost like innate to your personality. And excited can be like a good thing or a bad thing, So that's another part of this woman who might be a mistaken zygote, or who might resonate with this, is that you have this fire and this energy inside of you. And you're easily excitable, and maybe you love to laugh, maybe you love to cry, maybe you love to yell, but there is a lot to you. So even as a little zygote, there was a lot to you. And so you're in this stork's basket in her beak, and that she's carrying in her beak, and she's flying through, and all the other zygotes are just like, waiting for where they're going to be dropped off. And you are just like, ooh, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And you're really excited to get started in this lifetime. And you're so excited, and maybe a gust of wind comes, or just something happens, and you bounce yourself right out of the basket. The stork does not notice. So there is no time to redirect you. And you end up landing in a house that wasn't meant for you. It wasn't where you were supposed to be. And sometimes people will say like, oh, and I felt so connected to my neighbor up the street, or this person in the town just next over. And that's because that's probably where you belonged. But you popped out of the basket a little too soon and ended up in a home that never felt like home. And so, much like the story of the ugly duckling, which I've shared too, you just spent so much time trying to understand why you're here. Why am I here? And that is the theory of the mistaken zygote. That is my fence closing, if you heard that. It's like the wind opened the fence door and then shut it. And now even my dog, what is going on over there? So that is the mistaken zygote theory, that essentially you were a very excitable little soul to begin with, and you ended up rolling, popping, jumping, falling right out of the basket at the wrong time and landing in the house that was not meant to be where you were supposed to be. And again, for me, it just brought me so much comfort. I know that that's not where babies come from, but it brought me so much comfort knowing that through this story, I could feel an aha, like, oh, I have a bee on my foot, which I'm so not afraid of bees. In fact, one day I want to be a beekeeper. And I've been noticing they've been coming to me more. So it just flew away. But yeah, I'd love to know if this story resonated with you, if you can think of other stories, if you see the connections between the mistaken zygote and the ugly duckling. Another thing I like to bring up is one of the other things that I believe in, and I learned from Rebecca Campbell in Letters to a Starseed, is that we're all little starseeds. And there was once a big star, and I believe I'm saying this right. There was once a big star, and when it bursts, all of us little starseeds from that one star, we all were together at one point. Our little souls were shining, and the star exploded, I think is what it is. I'll have to go back and look, so please don't quote me on this, but I think you'll be able to follow the idea. And so pieces of our community were sprinkled all over the world, which also explains why you might feel like you don't quite belong here, but like close by or even on the other side of the world, you just resonate with someone. You just feel it. It's that twin flame feeling, which is also another idea that there is, a soulmate. There's a better half of you out there somewhere, and not better, but another half. I should say another half. Definitely not better. We're all better. We're all the best that we can be. But I would love to know if that mistaken zygote makes you think of any other stories, makes you think of things of in your own life, and you don't have to reveal that here. And you don't have to tell us either. You can just use this story to help you understand that you're seen, and that sometimes we do end up where we're not supposed to be. And then the gift is that through the tools of yoga and therapy and meditation and mindfulness, which is different from meditation, and nature and walking and grounding, we can begin to recalibrate our systems well enough so that we're sending out the vibrations to connect with the people that we are, and the souls that we are meant to connect with. So I hope this helps in some way, or at least that it was entertaining, and I'll see you for the next story.